Andy, Church Basement. It's a channel for guys struggling to navigate life. I'm going to react to this video of Theo Vaughn. I saw about 3 seconds of this clip circulating on the internet. It sounds really good. I know a little bit about Theo. I've never really watched one of his shows, not because I don't like him. I just kind of choosy with my time and limited. And but I've seen a lot of clips. Guy's funny. I know he's wrestled with addiction. I know he talks about Jesus and God occasionally. So I saw other people talking about this. Seems very raw, very honest, and thought I would watch it and see what he says.
I'll try to share. You know, I've been struggling, man. The past couple years, I've had, it's been a struggle in certain ways with certain behaviors that I'm just not proud of, right? Or really just behaviors that I didn't want to do anymore.
Been there.
And I couldn't change it. I couldn't change the cycle. And even as I say this, I'm afraid that I'll fall back into those behaviors. But I'll tell you what for me has been helpful recently. And I'm sorry if I sound a little animated. I just, I've been going through this in my own life recently, and it's on the tip of my thoughts and feelings. Sometimes I realized for myself, I would pray to God to help me get away from certain behaviors in my life. But at the same time that I was praying, there would be a part of me that knew I was probably going to do those things again,
So, love this already. He's so honest, so open. Man, I have been there, and I know so many guys who've been there who they just get to that, that phrase sick and tired of being sick and tired. You do this thing, you have this behavior, you have this thing in your life, and you're just like, gosh, I'm done with it. Why can't I just be rid of it? And so a lot of people, they turn to God and they start praying, remove this, remove this, remove this. Paul did this. He prayed that God would remove this thorn in his side. We don't know what that is, but we know that it didn't happen. And that was to keep Paul humble. So interesting. Let's see where he goes. I don't want to say too much.
That I was probably going to do those things again.
Yeah.
I beg God, please help me. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to have this behavior. But there'll be a little part of me that was I know even as I ask for God's help that I'm going to do it again. I would know that. So I started praying like this. I started praying God, please help me with this. This is a broken part of me that I bring to you. I need help with it. And then I would add to my prayer, I would say, and even, God, even as I pray to you right now, there's a part of me that knows I'm probably lying to you. There's a part of me that knows I'm going to do that behavior again. So can you come into that part of me and help me there? Help me in the part of me that knows as I pray that I'm lying.
How good is this? I wish a lot more people were this honest. This tension that exists in us where, let's say it's a battle with alcohol or lust, pornography, whatever it is, that a lot of guys deal with, anger, rage, all this stuff. They do want to get rid of it because it brings shame in their life. And they see, the effect on themselves, physically, emotionally, mentally, all the stuff. They see the effect on people around them, their relationships. Of course, they want it gone. They want the shame gone. They want the consequences gone. But yet they also know, he's accepting, he's willing to admit there's a piece of him who desperately wants that. Because so many of these things, so many of these behaviors we latch onto, they provide the relief we need. With addiction, that's what it is. It's the pleasure, the fun, the games. That's old news. Now it's relief and it's numbing. And the thought of losing the thing that brings us relief, brings us that escape, that scares us. That scares us. I don't know where he's going, but that personally, that's what he's saying. It's that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, been there. I want this out of my life, but do I want to go through the pain of losing it?
And I don't know if that sounds crazy or not, but But I started to think that like a connection between us and a higher power, it's such the realest. It's like in my life, it's one of the realest things that I've ever witnessed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you go in, like I'll be in meetings and or recovery meetings or, and you see people's lives change. You see something happen. You see miracles, right? But
Yeah. Real quick, I don't know what that was, but I've been in recovery meetings. I know exactly what he's talking about. If you've been in them, you know what he's talking about. If you haven't, you see people who talk about like a decades old struggle and they're no longer giving in. They're no longer using. They still have the battle. They still have the temptation, but they're not like slave to it anymore. That is a miracle. When you like go decades of acting out and using a drug or whatever it is, and you see other people that are like, yeah, I did that and now I'm not. You're like, this is crazy. It's crazy.
that was what was happening. It was, I couldn't change. I tried everything.
Mm-hmm.
I tried everything to change. I would tell myself I'm gonna do it different. I'm gonna do that, and it wouldn't. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, Romans 7. I have a desire, right? I have a desire to do what is right, but not the ability to carry it out.
I couldn't do it by myself.
No, not by yourself.
And my whole life, I'd done everything by myself. I thought I had.
Most guys do. We're isolated, we're independent.
And so something that's just been helping me recently is just praying differently, you know? Because whatever's inside of me that's broken is really, it's manipulative and it's, it would be good at pool because it's good at the angles. But so I've just been praying that God comes into those parts of me, Don't just come into like the water inside of me. Come into the well. Come into the walls of the well. Come into the mortar or whatever that's between the bricks. Because I'm broken. Because I'm broken all the way there.
This guy is like, this is so good. He's letting it out. I mean, he's like, I assume he's realized this is why he's talking about it, but like, to see this live, I've seen this live in meetings where, people have realized it personally, independently, whatever, and then they bring it out. And it's like when you tell someone else this kind of stuff, you're accepting that it's true. And he is tapping into something that we all have, brokenness, all the way there. I forget how he said it. Not everyone realizes it. Not everyone realizes it. I would say this, what made me realize it, what it seems like it's making him realize it is like this. I hate this thing in me that's a piece of me. This behavior, I think he called it, right? Where I keep doing it, and I'm sick of it, and I'm sick of it. And you realize no matter what I do and how I pray, it's still there. I think he talked about kind of like praying for God to come in and just get rid of it. That doesn't always happen. It's happened to some people. It didn't happen to me. God provided me other ways to deal with it. And it was through others. It was through relying on him. It was through all this stuff. It didn't just, the temptation, the struggle, it didn't go away. And only by wrestling with the struggle and wrestling with the battle, do you really get to the point where you're like, I give up. Like, there's something deeply wrong in me. And you start to acknowledge it and you start to bring it to God, like he seems to be doing right now.
And I don't mean that like in self-pity. But if there's a part of me that doesn't even want the best for me, then there's something inside of me that is off. So that's something that's been helping me because some of it's been coming true. And I don't know if it's been coming true. I don't know if that's a term, but I don't know. I'm starting to just feel something different.
What it seems like he's really like acknowledging is there's a new willingness in him for God to come in, right? Like he was kind of holding back, like, I don't want to lose this thing. I don't know his reason, but personally it was like, I don't want to lose my escape. I don't want to lose the thing that takes my pain away. I don't want to lose this thing that makes me feel like I'm okay. We all have these things in our life. We all have idols or addictions or whatever. We have them for a certain reason. They make us feel okay. They give us something that God is supposed to give us, but they give it to us, right? So safety, security, approval, acceptance, validation, comfort, whatever it is, we turn to these things because they give us something. But at the same time, they take so much from us. They are killing us and they are sucking the life from us. And so we want to get rid of them. But when we want to get rid of them, there is that piece of us that he's explaining this so well in a raw way. There's this piece of us that's like, no, I just want to hold on to a little bit of it. I want to keep a little bit of it because it's the thing that helped me survive. And that's what it is. Like psychologists will talk about like addictions and all these things. They usually get started as in your child years, and it's like survival, right? Like addiction is survival. You're surviving a hard life by turning to this thing that helps you deal with something overwhelming, too much for you, whatever it is. And it eventually becomes a normal part of your life. And so to get rid of that it really is like you're removing something that's saved you for so long. You can't comprehend like what is life going to be like without this. We know our life will be better because it won't hurt us anymore. But we also realize there's going to be a lot of pain and suffering that comes from removing this thing. Temporarily, short term, absolutely. It is so uncomfortable, so painful to rid ourselves. He is explaining the willingness to like let God in, let Jesus in, and just do his work. There's a saying, God is at the end of your rope. Like we have to get to the end of our rope. We have to try everything that we could possibly try. We give up, and there's God, and he's like, okay, are you ready? Like, are you ready for me to do my thing? And it sounds like he's hopefully getting to the end of his rope. People who are successful in recovery get to the end of their rope. They give up on trying to do all these things that we think are going to clean our lives up, make our lives better. And we finally take the step of trusting. Usually it's trusting God by trusting another human being. It's stop trying to do everything on your own. Stop living in isolation. Stop living through self-sufficiency, right? If there were a way to rid these things from our life by just following some steps and actions, they would be gone. We would have handled it a long time ago. But what it took was surrender, and it took trust, and it takes others. The help of God and others is how it's done. So let's see what else he's got here.
And then I was looking on this Bible, and there's a story called John 5, and it's about a guy who's at these pools. And some people follow the Bible, some people don't. That's fine. This is just a story that I'm reciting here.
Reading his Bible.
And Jesus is at the pools, and it's in Bethesda, and they're like, there's a sick man there, and he's been sick for a long time. And Jesus asks him, "Do you want to be healed?" He asks him, "Do you want to be healed?" And that's a crazy question because, if I get healed, then I'm different. If somebody gets healed, they have a new story.
Yeah, we get comfortable with
So
our
that's
life.
just been something that I've been having to ask myself. It's like, do I want to be healed?
It's uncomfortable.
Do I really want something different?
We do, but we don't.
And sometimes a lot of the answer is no, I don't. I want something different, but I don't want to. I don't know if I'm scared of it. I don't know what I am.
Yeah, fear.
I don't know if I don't want to do what it takes to get. I can't even tell what it is.
How good. He's so honest at a level that you don't see a lot. I've seen it in the church. It's usually in groups with guys that it's like the safety bar has been set so high that guys can just say whatever they want. Anything in them they can let out without fear of condemnation. And, he clearly is able to express what's going on and be so honest about it. I think this is such a common struggle. I think we're all just pretending sometimes, like, no, I want God's will all the time, really all the time. Really? You want His will all the time. You want to feel pain because God disciplines those He loves. So to allow God to change you, you're gonna go through some pain, some difficulty, some discomfort. You want all that? Oh yeah, I want that. If we wanted all that, we wouldn't have lives surrounded with all these things that bring us so much comfort. Yeah, he's being real. I don't know how much is left.
And
He's still going. Let's go. I like watching the wheels turn in his head. It's like real time.
it's hard for me. Some of this stuff's a little bit hard for me to say. I don't even know why. But I think I want a new story.
Yeah.
My story in my life, and I'm sorry to make this about me kind of, but I'm just trying to share, like, when I was growing up, like, my mom, something was wrong with her. I love my mother, but she didn't connect with me. She didn't, like, look at me, and she didn't, she wouldn't hold me that much, and she didn't look, she wouldn't look me in the eyes, right? And
parents look powerful.
and so as a kid, I felt like something was wrong with me. I felt like, if
First time I went to counseling, and my counselor was like, just explain your life story. I got to the point where I said those exact words. Something's wrong with me. And he said, stop. And he helped me understand some things. It's making me emotional.
if the person that created me won't even look at me, then something must be so wrong with me.
Our parents, you just said the person who created them, kinda. Our parents serve as they're the earthly picture of our Father in heaven. And He is, I hate to play counselor or whatever here, but the pastor-ish part of me is looking at this. And if you relate to this is something you need to hear too, because this is something I needed to hear way back in the day. Our parents, how they relate to us, how they don't look at Him. He doesn't get the love, whatever it is. Man, we project that onto God. We learn what God is like from our earthly parents. We learn what our heavenly parent is like, right? And so that is a big thing to overcome. Probably a deep-rooted belief. God's not interested in me. God doesn't love me. God doesn't want to look at me. God doesn't want to change me. Who knows? This is real stuff.
And I've worked through a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of going down this lane. But it just gave me like a lot of low self-worth.
Yeah.
It just gave me low self-worth.
Your parents give you your value.
And honestly, it made it tough for me to even have a self, because the only person that I only knew who I was if you reacted to me well, right? Like, I became just a people pleaser because I didn't have any feelings of self-worth. So the only way I could get my worth was from you, right? From somebody else.
Yes.
And it made sense because I didn't have a me. I didn't have a big sense of self. And so I got myself from who you thought I was. And
As a grown up class clown, if you laughed at me, I felt better about myself. So if people gave me the attention, whatever, I felt better about myself. That eventually turned into women. Like, if women liked me, if women gave me the attention, if they did this, self-worth.
I needed everybody to like me.
As a pastor, self-worth.
I needed everybody to like me because I didn't know if there was a one person that didn't like me, if one of the plates stopped spinning, if it was all gonna fall down.
Yeah, it's nonstop.
So anyway, sorry, I'm kind of rambling, but
Thank you. Keep rambling.
But the thing that also happened was that all of that energy, that negative energy, that uncertainty, that became my story, right? And it gave me like a chip on my shoulder where it was like, I'm gonna show them, I'll show these I'll do this, and it gave me all of that. It gave me all of that energy. Like, I'll prove to them, I'll prove to somebody that I'm worth something. I'm gonna make. Yeah, I just want to look in somebody's eyes and have them be pleased with me.
Who doesn't want that? Wow. That like energy he's talking about, that chip on your shoulder, a lot of that is coming from shame, when I hear him describe that, and like, I wanted that. I wanted to prove people. I wanted to get the validation. It was coming from a place of shame. Shame is a motivator. It's not a great motivator because it doesn't, if you don't take your shame and bring it to God and His grace to be dealt with the right way, you'll take it other places. But shame will absolutely drive you. Shame is a void that just sucks the life out of you. And that is very motivating to go and do something. And so, for him and for guys like me, it's someone tell me I'm okay. Someone give me my worth, validation, acceptance, approval.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah. I still want that,
That's what I wanted.
I have to wrestle with it.
I think it's all that any kid wants. I wanted to just look in somebody's eyes and have them be pleased with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
you want your mom and your dad to love you.
All that gave me a chip on my shoulder, And so anyway, it gave me all this energy. It was like, I'm going to figure this out. I'll do it myself. And all that stuff served me well until.
Yeah. Do it yourself.
I think just until now, it's like.
It's caught up. Caught up with me.
I don't know. I'm just tired of living that story, man. I'm tired of that story.
It's exhausting. It doesn't work. It really is like a hamster wheel, because you get approval, you get the validation, but you're still stuck with all your stuff. It just distracted you for a while. When you're a people pleaser, making someone happy makes you feel good, but you're still there. That's a saying we have in recovery. No matter where I go, I'm still there. People pleasing, which is kind of part of codependency, all this stuff. Like, if you fix people, if you get people to like you, blah, 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 it's temporary. It doesn't outweigh the shame and the pain and the wounds that clearly you have from childhood. He's explaining some of that. Now, this is good. I see why people are reacting to this stuff.
I'm tired of that story. I just don't want that story anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a good story and it served me well. Dang, homie, I'm leaking.
Dude, it does serve you well. It helps you like cope. So like in that, people get confused, like when someone says something like that, but it's like the reality is for a kid that grows up in a crappy situation, these things, these ways that we like respond help us deal with it and help us make sense of things and kind of protect us from like the reality. Maybe like your parent doesn't care about you. That's too much for a kid to handle. So they make up these stories, they get this narrative, whatever. They resort to addictions, they resort to obsessions, drugs, pain, whatever, to deal with the pain. It helps you get through this life. That's a story, but the story ultimately catches up to you. Going back to what he said, and I think I'll just wrap it up with this. I don't know how much is more, but there's something wrong with me. Man, if I could talk to him, I would be like, yes and no. There's something wrong with all of us, right? And I don't know if he knows this, right? But there's that God-shaped hole in our heart that only God can fill. But even as a believer, I experienced this, which was God came into my life and I tried to follow him, but I tried to do it in old ways. Self-sufficiency, self-reliance, isolated, just willpower, effort. I didn't trust anyone. That was something I was left over with from childhood. I didn't trust anyone. And you try to live this new life on this new path in old ways, and it doesn't work. And so you think this is challenging, but for someone who is messed up, they believe in Jesus, they start to see some things change, which is awesome. But they still go about living their life in old ways, and they think, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Like, what aren't I believing? What don't I care about? And they really double down, and you can experience more shame as a believer sometimes, because you're getting this reinforcement of, I'm trying harder, I'm trying this, and you keep failing, you keep struggling, you keep giving in, whatever it is. And that makes you feel worse, because now you care more that you're doing it because you're trying to follow Jesus, because you love his grace and you love what he did for you. And you're like, I can't change. I'm such a piece of crap. It's those old ways, those old methods that have to change. The old wineskins have to be replaced with new wineskins. We're full of lies, and we're full of all these old ways of thinking about things, and we don't deal with the lies. We don't deal with the deception that we live so much of our life in. We have to undo old lies. We have to undo old patterns. Too many people in the church don't do that. They just want the new life. And you're going to get the new life. But the new life helps you deal with the old life and the shame that keeps hanging around, and the lies and the accusations that continue to come your way. The good news is for believers, just like it's for non-believers, because it reminds you of what's true, what's good, what's right, what have you been saved from. There is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus, Romans 8:1. So it's like, yeah, there's something wrong with me. Jesus deals with that. That feeling we continue to have of there's something wrong with me is really, I think it's meant to draw us and realize I'm still trying to deal with things the same way I always have, right? I'm still trying to deal with things on my own, with my own effort, by my own will, whatever it is. That's the stuff that needs to change. So I don't think we're broken in Christ. I don't think we're worthless, or, we're loved, we're accepted as we are, not as we should be. That is God's grace. But those feelings of like inadequacy and brokenness, I think those come from continuing to maybe live in shame and in fear. And really what we have to do is we have to step into the light, bring our stuff out like he's doing, do that with another person, bring it out into the light so that God can just shine some light on it and experience no condemnation from another person. Man, it's so powerful. That's why recovery is so powerful, because you have all these people and you can say anything and no one kicks you out. It really is grace. This is all good. I love this. I'm going to let this play out a little bit. See where it goes.
It's been a good story and it served me well, but I don't want that story anymore.
Yeah.
I want something different. Because the more I just tell that story, it's just like, I stay in that world. I stay in that cycle for me. And I think
cycle.
Yeah, so I want to have and it's scary to say that I want to have a new story, because I'm so used to how those other feelings work. I know who to be angry at. I know how to operate here, and I know how to operate there, and I know who to not give love to. And
it's so, we become comfortable in our dysfunctions and in our addictions because we at least know what to expect.
I know how to make love very conditional. I know how to do all of these. I know how to navigate to get this fucked up vehicle down the street.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I want a new story, dude. And it's crazy for me to even say that. But yeah, I think I want a new story. And
he wants something different so bad. He's right there. This is the point right before the end of your rope. It's like it could be just a little bit left, but it could be so much. Man, this is good.
So that's one thing that I'm asking God for. Yeah, I'm asking God for a new story, right? I'm asking God for the next part of me.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes that next story, the next thing, the next chapter, whatever it is, God's not just going to change all our circumstances and just like automatically like, oh, now you have new, objects of desire and new passions, and you're just different. There are things that are different when we believe in Jesus, and He comes into our life, and we get that new heart. But what I found is when you pray for those things, God puts all these things in your life where you have to actively trust Him, right? Like my life didn't change until I confessed. That's an action. He gave me the opportunity. He gave me the courage. And then I went and did it. And what I didn't know was that at the same time, He was giving my He was giving my wife a heart of grace to receive it. So working on two different people in different ways for the same goal to move forward. This is so good. I'll link his video in the description below. You can go check out the whole thing if you want. I think this started around like 45, 46 minutes, something like that. But so good. If you relate to that, you're like a lot more guys than you think. A lot of guys have said versions of this or are in the midst of it. And it's amazing. I think with a willing heart, that's what God works with. Willingness. It doesn't work with perfect people. It doesn't work with the strongest, the most mature, the most knowledgeable. He works with willing. He can do a lot with a willing heart. So, man, if you're in this, you're not alone. There is a way forward. There is hope. And there are people who can help you. This is great. Hey, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts too. Like where are you at? What are you going through? I'm in the middle of my own stuff, on my own journey, on my own path. I don't have it all figured out, but I have experienced God's grace, and I hope to share that with other people. So that's what I do. I try to just share where I'm at, what I'm going through, and I love hearing other people do it. And just I need more I need more stuff like this, because this is great. I love this, and He says it in a different way than I could. So thanks for watching. See you next time.